According to reports, Mike Manyan and Chelsea have an agreement in personal terms, but an agreement between the two clubs for the sale of Manyan is finding to be a bit more difficult than anticipated. They are a little bit further away in meeting a price. We need to talk about the future of Nicholas Jackson with Liam Delap joining Chelsea as well as Hugo Ekitike on their radar. And have Chelsea just found their new winger with Mohammed Kudus heavily linked, and the Daily Mail have given a transfer update with regards to him. And we know reports have come out about West Ham that they need to sell before they buy. Is there a cut price for Cudis there? Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already, smash the granny out of it. Make sure you go down, hit that subscribe button. We just hit 55K, so big up to every single one of you. And we are steamrolling our way towards 60,000 subscribers. So I hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We need to get on with a big Chelsea transfer update. Now, I want to talk about first Fabrizio Romano's tweet regarding Chelsea and AC Milan for the signing of Mike Manyan. Now, Fabrizio has said Chelsea and Milan are not close on evaluation for Mike Manyan. AC Milan want around 30 million euros. Chelsea won't pay that, as Chelsea value Manyan at 10 million euros with only 1 year left on his current deal. Now, Chelsea won't wait any longer than Monday, as they're also happy with the 4 goalkeepers in their squad. Now, that last part, I don't think is legit. I think Chelsea won't wait any longer than Monday because they need to get him registered for the Club World Cup. We know Chelsea have had a very difficult time when it comes to their goalkeepers. We've seen Sanchez throw one into the back of his net. We've seen Petrovic, he's going to be probably, under the spotlight a lot more this season. But I just think they need a big signing in net. I'm surprised they didn't go out there and get Kelleher from Liverpool. He joined Brentford for about £15 million, which was a very, very good signing. I think they will probably meet in the middle, maybe around £18 million with add-ons getting up to 20 million. Manyan is a top goalkeeper, 29 years of age, more than 30 appearances for France, won league titles wherever he's been. A lot of people don't actually realise he was the goalkeeper for Lille when they won their league title. The following season, he joins Milan. They win the Scudetto. He's a very, very, very solid goalkeeper and very experienced goalkeeper. He's 29 years of age. I think he ticks a lot of the boxes that Chelsea need. They need a goalkeeper that's very comfortable with his feet, and we've seen with Sanchez that is not the case. Now, I want to move the conversation on to Nicholas Jackson, and then we'll come to Mohammed Kudus. Nicholas Jackson, for me, this is an interesting one because I don't see him as the prolific number 9 that Chelsea want and need going into next season. If hypothetically Chelsea sign a Hugo Ekitike and they have also got Liam Delap. Now, I like Jackson. I think he's a good player. I think he's versatile. I think he offers a lot of the things Chelsea want and Chelsea need. But Chelsea need a killer in the box. And I don't think that's Jackson. They need someone who can get 20 league goals a season. They've got the top 4. They've got their first piece of silverware under Enzo Maresca. The next step is going to be challenging for league titles and then winning league titles. And I don't think, it's no disrespect to Jackson. I think he's a good player. I think he's versatile. I think he can be a very good squad option. But Chelsea were looking at Victor Osimhen last summer. Now, that's a killer in the box. That's a guy that's turned up in Ligue 1 and scored goals. Won a Scudetto with Napoli and been their player of the season with Kvaratskhelia. Gone out to Turkey and had a really good season with Galatasaray. Now, it probably is going to be attitude problems or wages for part of the reason they're not prepared to sign Jackson, because no one at the moment is heavily linked with him. Not Jackson, sorry, Osimhen. Jackson, for me, though, he does get good numbers. He has got good numbers since he's been in a Chelsea shirt. And he doesn't have a huge amount of experience actually as a pro footballer. He only played something like 50 games or so at Villarreal before he actually joined Chelsea. Now, his stats since he's been in a Chelsea shirt are very good. He's got 24 goals and 10 assists in 65 games, which is over 30 GA. So that's roughly 1 in 2. But he has missed a bundle of chances. And I look at the fact that because they are heavily linked with, with Hugo Ekitike, who had more than 30 GA alone this season, Jackson's wages, they're not massively high. His contract, however, does expire in June 33. He's on £100,000 a week. I think he may be potentially leaving Chelsea in the next year or two if they do bring in a Hugo Ekitike or a more prolific number 9. Now, 15 hours ago, the Standard put out a tweet, out on their website regarding Mohammed Kudus. Now, it says Chelsea are interested in a deal for West Ham forward Mohammed Kudus, reports claim. The Ghanaian international's future in East London has become subject to speculation this summer, with his current contract said to be with include of an £85 million release clause. I don't think no one is paying £85 million in this current market for Mohammed Kudus. There's been many reports coming out saying that West Ham need to sell before they can buy. According to the Daily Mail, Chelsea are among the clubs interested in Cudis, Jamie Gittens, Hugo Ekitike, Joao Pedro, and Maignan. Now, I do like Joao Pedro, but similar to other players, I don't think he's that next step up. I think, the players they've got now are better. I think Pedro Neto, I was about to say Pedro Porro. I think Pedro Neto is a better wide player than Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro is not a killer in the box. He's a very, very good. Not entirely sure what just happened there, but we are back. With regards to Joao Pedro, I don't think collectively he is, the number 9 that Chelsea want and need. In terms of wide players on that list, you've got Jamie Gittens, homegrown player, young player, fits the bill. You've got Mohammed Kudus. I like Cudis. He can play as a number 10. He can play on the right. He's an experienced player in the Premier League now with 2 seasons, but his goal contributions aren't that high and aren't that great. You could maybe argue, surrounded by better players in a better team, he may perform better. However, contract expires 30th of June 2028. We know he can play on the right and the left and as a false 9, but 9 GA in 35 games across all competitions this season for West Ham. And you look at his record overall at West Ham with 80 appearances, 19 goals and 13 assists. It's an okay record. I wouldn't say it's outstanding. I wouldn't say it's poor. But, compare that to his record at Ajax. It's not actually that much worse, considering he's playing in a much better team in a worse league. So maybe his numbers are actually okay. But for me personally, I think Chelsea need a dominant number 9, someone who's going to come in and score bundles of goals, and as well as that wide player. You see Liverpool doing 150 million euros on Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, and of course Kirkes. Man City have got a here we go today for Reinders. We know they've already got Aït-Nouri on the radar and Cherki on the radar. Plus, they brought in Nico Gonzalez, Omar Mamouche. They're a very busy club right now, and it looks like, City mean to go big again next season. If Chelsea want to take that next step up and start competing, they have to sign the next caliber of player. I don't think Alejandro Garnacho, Joao Pedro, Mohammed Kudus are the next level, but they are good squad players. They were linked with Nico Williams. I think he would be a step up, proving he can score in the big games. Won trophies with Bilbao, the Copa del Rey, scored in the biggest game of his career against England for the Euros. Got pace, can take players on. Is a better technical footballer than what they're currently linked with. But there is a long, long way to go in the transfer window. The problem for Chelsea is they don't have a lot of time with the Club World Cup only around the corner. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on all the Chelsea news we have discussed this video, and I will see you next time. I'm out.